Originally we came from Houston, Texas, and we actually lived on Galveston Island, which is about 35 miles south of Houston. When we first came to Ecuador, we actually started in Quito, and then we came to Cuenca and Guayaquil, and then we went off to the coast. But we love Cuenca so much. I think just the fact that the climate is so wonderful here, the people are great, and it was just a better fit for us.
How did you hear about Maite, Duran, and Gringo visas?
Ed did extensive research on who would be the best company to work with, because we just didn't want any hiccups. We didn't want it to become real expensive. We didn't want it to become time-consuming. So he actually did a lot of internet searching, and then he actually interviewed people that were performing the services here in Cuenca. So without a doubt, we came to the conclusion that Maite was the best for us. She answered all of our phone calls when the phone rings. We were able to get her on weekends. She was very customer service oriented, which I think we as Americans are accustomed to. And the other thing that we appreciated so much about her was the fact that she kept focused on the one thing that we wanted to have done, and that was to get our visas and our permanent residency, and then to get our cedulas. And it wasn't like, well, I can do this for you, and I can do that for you, and let me do this for you. It was one of those things that she just helped us stay focused, get to our goal, and that was to come down here and get settled. The beauty of having the U.S. office is that all the things that we needed to have, stamped and registered and all that kind of stuff, we were just able to send it from our home in Houston to her offices in Connecticut. And we were close to the process, so if we needed to get anything quickly to her or to her offices in the U.S., it was just an overnight, and it was just simple and easy. Well, for us, and I don't know that all Americans do this, but we literally had our visas put into our passports in the United States. So we knew that we were home free before we ever came down here, because Ed and I had heard so many war stories. So it was just incredible peace of mind to know that all you really had to do once we got down here was to register the visas and then get our cedulas. When we very first came to Cuenca, we had the appointment set up with Gringo Visa, and her entire staff was there. We were, just treated with kid gloves, and we got to meet her staff. And her staff is incredible. Once again, they answer the phone when it rings. Their English is impeccable. There wasn't any translation problems. And they took us to the government offices, which is a little intimidating within itself. They were there with us the whole step of the way. Some of the things that we were asking her about, she checked it again, and that's just one of those confident levels that you have in Gringo Visa, because they want to make sure that they don't lead you down the wrong road. And I can tell you, coming to a new country, that is incredible peace of mind to have that. I think the strongest recommendation that I could give about Gringo Visa is just literally customer servicing. Maite has spent a lot of years in the United States. She understands kind of how we're wired. She understands that customer servicing, the response time, is so important. And I would think if you're looking for someone, if you're really interested in coming down here and you just want to get the job done in a manner that's fast, stress-free, then I think Gringo Visa is the place you need to be. The next step I think that we're looking at is to get our dual citizenship. We're Americans, we're always going to keep our American passport. That's still our home country, and we look at it that way. But we have literally decided to retire here. And we'll definitely go with Maite and her company to get our citizenship.
Ecuador is one of the leading countries to retire. It's fairly easy to obtain a visa in Ecuador if you have the correct documentation. There's a lot of myths and outdated information out there. If you come to Gringo Visas, you will make sure that we have the latest and updated information for you. Please feel free to contact us if you have any questions at info@gringovisas.com.